Welcome back, and welcome to what is undoubtedly the outstanding match of the day on the centre court schedule here at the Newsweek Champions Cup. Andre Agassi, the number 3 seed, playing Todd Martin, his fellow American, seeded 14, and of course Martin, a Grand Slam finalist a couple of years ago at the Australian Open. Players are out on court, just going through the toss with Paulo Pereira, and I can tell you that Todd Martin has won the toss. Paulo Pereira from Sao Paulo, Brazil, our umpire for this match. So the warm-up just about to begin. Let me bring you up to date with news from the outside courts. Renzo Furlan in the Italian battle has the advantage in the final set against Andrea Gaudenzi. Furlan is up 3-2 with the break of serve. And in the match between Jim Courier and Wayne Ferreira, it's Ferreira who has the early advantage, leading by 3-1 in the first set, obviously with a break of serve. Courier serving at the moment at 40-15. So these two men are going to be meeting for the 10th time in all, with Agassi holding a 6-3 advantage. A 4-2 lead on hard courts as we're playing here. Agassi's won the last 4 matches between the two, so at one stage it was Martin who led 3-2. Martin's last win was in the 4th round at Wimbledon in 1994, and they last played in the semi-finals in Washington, D.C. last year. So here's Andre Agassi. With the sun out, we've got the headscarf back, making him look piratical. 25 now, Andre. One of 3 men to hold the world's #1 ranking so far this year, and he has a chance of going back to #1, depending now on how he and Pete Sampras do, given the early defeat of Thomas Muster. Finalist in San Jose, losing, of course, there to Pete Sampras, and semi-finalist at the Australian Open, losing to Michael Chang. He's won over defeat, somewhat controversial one in Memphis, where he lost to Luke Jensen, got booed off the court. His record here at the Newsweek Champions Cup, playing here for the 9th time, twice a finalist in 1990, losing to Stefan Edberg, and last year losing to Pete Sampras. And here's his opponent, one of the tallest men on the tour, 6'6", 1.98 m, Todd Martin, living now in Ponte Vedra, where the tour has its American headquarters, just down from Jacksonville in Florida, up the Atlantic coast there. Just come back into the top 20, has been as high as #5 in the world. That was a couple of years ago, July of '94. Already a winner this year, beating Goran Ivanisevic in the final in Sydney and losing to Sampras in the final of Memphis. Both matches, of course, you may well have seen with us on Eurosport. And his best result here in his 4 previous visits was last year, when he lost in the quarter-final to Pete Sampras. And that's Todd Martin. Very interesting, Agassi in his post-match press conference, confirmation of the heads-to-heads. Agassi talking about different priorities this year to last, when he really wanted to win every match and get to #1. Now he says it's all about winning the really big titles. And he was saying that for him this year, the #1 priority is winning the French Open, the one Grand Slam he hasn't won. And after that, he wants desperately to win the Olympics in Atlanta. Now we're going to just bring you right up to date with the latest ATP rankings and have a look at the changes this week.
Another week on the tour is over, so let's check out the new rankings.
A career high at 64, Raux is at 45, a career high too for Novak at 30, and Rios is at 20. Inside the 10, Kafelnikov's final appearance in Rotterdam lifts him to number 7. But at the top, returning for his second stint at number 1, is Thomas Muster. How long will he enjoy top spot this time?
So those then the latest ATP rankings, and of course there could well be significant changes again as a result of this week. Andre getting a big reception. He's won 1 match so far, having had a bye in the first round. Beat Cheng Schalken, the Dutchman, 6-1, 4-6, 6-3. Martin's passage through. In the first round he beat Jason Stoltenberg, 6-3, 6-2. And then he beat Mark Woodford, 6-4, 6-3. So he's obviously got it in for the Aussies this week. Todd. A really nice guy. Very quite introverted. Very modest. Now then, this of course is the first of the Mercedes Super 9s coming up next, starting a week tomorrow, Key Biscayne, and then we move to Europe from Monte Carlo and Hamburg on the clay court season. And there's one other clay court match, and that's a clay court tournament, and that of course is in Rome. Then the hard court season, Cincinnati and Toronto, and then the indoors, Paris and Stuttgart, all leading up to the ATP World Championships in Frankfurt. Now then, I'm delighted to say that hot foot, no doubt, from having a quick word with Pete Sampras, has come Pete Sampras' coach, Paul Annacone. And Paul, I guess both you and he are pretty satisfied with the day's work.
Yeah, nice to get through the first match of the tournament. Obviously, Thursday started a little bit difficult to have that extra day. It was nice to let the ankle rest, but you always want the match practice, so it was nice to get through.
So then, one of the big matches of the day, no doubt about that, and it's the big man, Todd Martin, 6'6", to get us underway. Not a bad return to open with.
Yeah, good start there by Andre. Todd's going to have to be very careful here. Todd, being a big man, needs a little bit more time to hit the ball, and obviously Andre's expertise of taking the ball early takes his time away, so he needs to get off to a good start.
Interesting that Martin not quite happy to take on Agassi from the back court.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to beat Andre playing one way or another. Good variety of games, good strategy. Of course, it's tough to do it, though.
Trying to whip up the topspin lob and got a top edge. Well, now all of a sudden the wind has virtually dropped off, and it's, I would say 5 or 10 degrees warmer than half an hour ago. Beautiful sunshine.
tremendous pace of shot there by both players. And you see someone hitting the ball as hard as Andre does from inside the baseline, being an opponent of his, you know that not going to have a heck of a lot of time to prepare and get the ball back in play.
But if you give Andre a second bite at the cherry, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you have to do a little bit better than that. I mean, a good strong serve to the backhand, had a relatively easy high forehand volley that he mishit there, and Andre tracked it down, hit the winning forehand. Good swinging serve wide there. It's just someone that sees the ball as well as Andre. Your margin for error is just so minimal on every shot you hit, especially the serve. You got to make sure that you can hit that serve on the dime in all the corners. Otherwise, you pay a heavy price.
So Todd Martin comes through a good test in the opening service game, winning a juice game. Paul Anacone will be interested to know that Renzo Furlan has maintained his dominance over his fellow Italian, Andrea Gaudenzi. That's 3 wins out of 3, and Furlan this time getting through 7-6, 3-6, 6-2. And that means that Furlan now plays Paul Harhaus, later today for the right to play Pete Sampras.
That's a full day for Renzo, having to come back again this afternoon. Obviously, the inclement weather causing havoc with just about everybody yesterday, so he's going to have a full day ahead of him, and Paul Harhaus is playing some great tennis. I saw some of his match yesterday against Thomas Enquist, who he took out relatively easily, 6-4, 6-2. So Renzo has his match. This match will be a lot of hard work for him, and I think it should be some good tennis.
And incidentally, the other match going on at the moment, Wayne Ferreira still holding on to his break, 4-3 up on Jim Courier in the first set, but it's at juice, so Ferreira having a tight service game at the moment.
Be interesting to see how Todd approaches the return game type strategy with Andre. I think it's pivotal that he really be very aggressive off the return of serve and try to get control of the points early. Todd's mobility can cause him a bit of problems against someone as good as Andre, so he's really going to have to be offensive, particularly on the second serve return. Miss-hit forehand there, but I think Todd, that's the right strategy for Todd. He doesn't want to play too tentatively. He's got to make sure that he can control the point. Even if he makes a few errors here and there, he's got to let Andre know he's going to jump on the second serve.
What a pace off that backhand.
Battle of the backhands out there. Todd's backhand is a little stronger than his forehand. He hits a little bit flat, but he can hit some punishing winners off of that side, particularly if the ball gets up high. Good serve by Andre. He's really improved his serve in the last year and a half or so. He and Brad Gilbert, his coach, have spent a lot of time, and Andre's really serving particularly more intelligently than he has in the past, knowing when to go for the big serve and when to take a little pace off of it.
Taking full advantage of the short return. special coming up after the tennis. Carla Michael and Todd will be there, bringing that to you for the Friday night trade show. Thanks a lot for joining us today during our live coverage of the new Sweet Champions Cup against the separate and easy winners of the national. Just long.
Good solid hold there by Andre. One of the things you notice when Andre's playing his matches, very rarely do you see him having to struggle to get the ball. He's got such good anticipation, controls the point so well from the first strike of the ball that very rarely is he scrambling. So Todd's going to have to do what he can to make sure that Andre's doing more of the running than he is, which is a difficult task, but we'll see if he's up to it today. Tough to beat that.
Oh, dear me.
Just such a tremendous pure ball striker. If you don't hit the ball right on the marks where you're aiming, it's anywhere within wing's reach of him, he can just hit a clean winner, as we just saw there. That's a good play there. I would hope that Todd has spent some time thinking about moving his serve around, as he showed last point there, serving at the body of Agassi. Although it's a difficult spot to hit, he's got to make sure that he's hitting all the different various locations in the service box.
I think he was just long. A couple of times I noticed when he was playing Shane Shalkin yesterday, Paul, Andre's now taking the left hand off and the follow-through of the double-hander from time to time.
I didn't see the match yesterday, but his incredible racket head speed and the hand talent he has, I think he could hit the ball almost any way he wants and get away with it.
He's only got to adjust the radar by, I would think, 1 or 2 degrees, and that will be peppering the line rather than just missing. Again, just wide.
Good play there by Todd, hitting that good kicking serve and then ripping the backhand behind Agassi.
Did well to hold serve there, Todd Martin, and he leads by 2-1 in the opening set. Just trying to tell you that Wayne Ferreira has won the first set, 6-4 over Korea. Welcome once again, Eurosport's live coverage in the lovely setting of Indian Wells in the California desert, a couple of hours drive from Los Angeles. I saw some friends of mine who've driven up from Los Angeles this morning, Tracy Austin and her husband Scott.
Nice
Tracy,
people.
very heavily pregnant, 8 months pregnant, but looking in full bloom in every sense of the word, and looking forward to becoming a mum for the first time.
Good for her.
Agassi serving at 1-2.
Good wide serve there. Andre really, again, just to reiterate how smart he's been serving the past couple of years, knows exactly when to hit which type of serve. Look for Todd to try to take advantage of the second serve and put some pressure on Andre.
Oh, that's
Good
a
point.
terrific rally. The variety of spins.
Yeah, it's very important for the two-handed guys to continue to try to get different types of shots. And you see both of these guys implementing the slice backhand, taking one hand off the racket just to add some variety, keep the ball down low. Todd used all the court there to come up with that big winner. One thing about the big players is they tend to, no matter how good a shape they're in, they tend to take a little bit longer to recover after a long point like that. And although Andre hit a good serve, it was well within the returnable range for Todd. Perhaps just a fraction late catching his breath. See Todd taking that second serve and hitting the sharply angled return. One way to alleviate that wide second serve that kicks you way off the court is to stand closer inside the baseline, because historically you're not going to get beat by pace on the second serve. You just don't want to get beat by that short angle as well. That's terrific hand talent there by Andre, able to stop, get his balance, and rip the two-hander up the line.
Well, maybe the second serve got up a little bit more than Todd Martin was expecting. It's 2-all.
Good variety and location there. Andre going at the forehand side there. The bigger men like Todd Martin and Magnus Larsson and Goran Ivanisevic tend to like the ball up high. But if you can move the location around and keep them off balance, if you're going to hit it up high, that's the best way to get away with it. Well-executed serve and volley there. It's relentless pressure from Agassi, though, on the return of serve. As you're serving, you see him ready to hit this return on the full stretch. You just know that you have to come up with a good serve time and time again. Again, going at the body there. Andre's one of the few players in the world that you can actually hit a serve in the 115, 120 range miles per hour at his body, and he'll actually hit the ball before the ball gets to his body instead of stepping out of the way. Rare talent indeed.
First ace of the match.
Pretty solid serving this game, David, huh? 3 good first serves.
Impressive indeed, and Andre was already walking to the chair. He'd given that one up to say, okay, 40 love.
Andre's ready to go pick up his bottle of Evian, I think, after that return.
I was very interested when Andre came in last night, Paul, and in his press conference, we were talking with him about, was he finding it difficult to maintain the same intensity that he had last year when he got to #1 and had terrific time? And he said, not so much that, but that his priorities have now changed, and that having been #1, that was no longer so much of a priority. He'd love to be it again, but now he says it's all about winning the big titles. And he made the comparison that last year in the summer, he won every hardcore title that was going, except the one that really mattered, the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an overstatement, but there's some truth to it. I think these guys historically try to win every title that they can. And I think that, Andre obviously came 1 match short at the U.S. Open, but he'll do whatever he can to win the majors. And I think that the #1 ranking has to be a result of the other things. I think that when you set it as a priority, you tend to get a little bit confused. And that's one thing that Pete historically has done so well.
Just showing you how the top 8 seeds have fared. Obviously, Muster, Becker and Enquist all departed the scene. And of the lesser seeds, a lot of them have gone, including earlier today, Alberto Costa. This is Agassi, serving at 2-3.
That was, in my opinion, there a missed opportunity by Todd. He got the relatively slow, high-kicking second serve to the forehand, just kind of pushed it back to Andre's backhand.
First ace from Andre.
Cleaned the line pretty well with that serve. As we see it, right up the middle on the line there. Service line's been doing well to get out of the way of that. An error there by Todd, but I believe it's, in my opinion, a good error, trying to be offensive. And one of the things we haven't seen Todd, one of the tactics Todd hasn't employed yet, has been hitting the return and coming in for the volley, which he's so capable of.
Saw that one for play of the week.
Todd's not sure what happened there, but I guess he'll take it. A little bit sloppy. Good wide kicking serve. See how far off the court it drags Todd. That ball shouldn't be returned. Miss it a little bit by Andre, and Todd using a little innovation there. Comes up with the sidearm overhead.
I don't know if you caught that. He said all set up by a brilliant return.
Good service game there by Andre. Yeah, back to the #1 ranking a little bit. I think Andre and Pete and Thomas Muster and all the other guys in contention have to learn what works for their own personalities. Everybody's different, and they have to get a grasp as to how they want to achieve that ranking, or if they want it to be the result of other things going on. I think that each person has to have their own individual comfort level with it. Great serve. But it is a nice problem to have, though, David. I wish I had that in my career, having to worry about being ranked #1 and how to deal with it.
Yes, absolutely. Thomas Muster was saying that he's now achieved the 2 great goals in his life, and that was being the French Open champion and the #1 ranked player in the world, and now he's going to try and broaden himself out. He's going to play the grass court season. He's going to come and play in Queen's Club in London, the Stella Artois, going to play the Jerry Weber Open and Halle, and then at Wimbledon.
What's so great about this game, no matter how good these guys are, it's a bit of a cliche, but it's scary to think, but they can even get better. Muster can obviously improve on the grass courts, and Pete wants to do better on the clay, and with all the tremendous events, there's a lot of opportunity to improve, so these guys definitely have to get their goals in the right situation. Good return there by Andre. I think it's a good play to serve out wide on the second serve once in a while, even though his forehand's very dangerous. Got to keep him honest. 30 love, it's a good place to start. You see the service action of Todd and having to scramble because of the early return. You hear the strategy of hitting balls up the middle to negate giving your opponent an angle. Unfortunately, against someone like Andre Agassi, I don't think it works too well because of the pace of shot that he generates and also how early he's able to take the ball. Once in a while, it's a good play, but if you keep that ball in the middle of the court, you better have your running shoes on because you're going to do a lot of running.
So the first break point of the match coming up.
Big opportunity for Andre here. I'm wondering, David, it's been a couple games now since we've seen a serve and volley by Todd. I think that got to be a little leery of Andre's return, but you can't totally back down from what you do so well.
Chance missed on the second serve.
Andre's not going to be too pleased with that. His forte there, taking advantage of second serve returns, was ball got up a little bit high on him. Great play by Todd. Tough, difficult to do, but one of Andre's disadvantages of taking the ball early is he himself has a much less time to react, and Todd took advantage of it there, hitting the ball behind Andre.
Just missed.
Great, smart play there with the slow kick serve. He just didn't do enough with that first backhand. Didn't get it quite close enough to that sideline and paid the price.
Andre with 3 rings in the left of the ear this year. Less hair every year, but more rings.
Got to wonder about the balance of his head. I think it's too much weight going there. That's great tennis. Just puts the pressure on every single service game. It's just relentless. You got to be very, very sound on your serve and make sure you don't cause yourself any sloppy mistakes. And Andre just never lets up on you when he's returning. Todd coming up with a good serve. And David, I still think he's got to throw in a couple serve and volleys here, even if he serves at the body. You know, get that big serve at Andre's body and hopefully get him off balance and create an opportunity to come in for a solid volley.
Yes, he's won 63% of points at the net as Martin, so it's not as if he's struggling in that department. He's getting a reasonable percentage of first serves in too, 61%.
Now, he'll be happy with 61% first serves, but unless he backs it up well with a few good volleys, I think that it's going to take a bit of the pressure off of Andre. Again, it's very difficult to beat this man playing one style of tennis, and right now Todd seems to be a little too one-dimensional at the baseline. Mix it up with a little movement forward.
When this man connects, it's just magnificent.
Great return of serve. I think arguably the best ball striker of all time. See Todd hitting the serve not close enough to the center line. Looks like Andre was fed that out of a ball machine.
Juice for the 4th time. 3 all in juice, and both men have won 23 points so far.
Taking a chance going for the wide serve there again. I think although it's a dangerous wing of Agassi, he tends to make a few more mistakes on the forehand side. Get some more winners, but the odd mistake will come from the forehand side. There's the body serve and the serve and volley. It's a big hold for Todd.
Certainly was. He faced the first 2 break points of the match. And it's Martin who leads 4-3 in the first set. Welcome back. So Andre Agassi's got plenty of improving to do in his first serve percentage. I'm David Mercer. Alongside me, delighted to have again the company of Paul Anico, coach of Pete Sampras, former Wimbledon quarterfinalist himself. 1984 against Jimmy Connors. Unseeded, I seem to remember. Weren't you, Paul?
Yeah, it was actually my second professional tournament, first at the Queen's Club, so it was a nice way to start off my career. And the All England Club, I have very fond memories and enjoy going back there every year. Todd's going to have to take advantage of this low first service percentage by Agassi, only 44%. So. I think when Andre starts bringing that percentage up, you have less of an opportunity to control the point. So Todd's getting almost 6 out of 10 points on second serves. He needs to find a way to get control, as we see Andre putting away the high forehand volley there.
Yes, Andre's won every single point when he's got his first serve in.
And he's not even serving a lot of aces, he's just serving smart and getting control. It's a testament to how good his ball striking ability is. That's the kind of tennis Todd needs to play on the second serve. It's easy to say that sitting up here, and although you can't do that time and time again, it just takes a few good ones at the right time to cause a couple double faults and a few more short second serves. So we'll see if Todd tries to use that a little bit more consistently. Great serve there by Agassi. Lifting the velocity a little bit there, up to 116 miles per hour.
Which is the fastest in the match so far. Fastest from Todd so far, 114. I think Pete got up to 124, I noticed one.
Yeah, he can hit it pretty good. That's a way to jump on the second serve there. Put a little pressure on Andre. Hit the big, strong two-hander down the line, which is a great shot of Todd's. He's got a great two-handed backhand. He can thread the needle up the line there. Somewhat of an opportunity here, returning at 4-3, 30 all.
Winner of this match, incidentally, will play the winner of the next match on the stadium court, one we won't be able to show you, but that's Michael Chang against Arno Birch. My word, Agassi is in a tough section of the draw, assuming that Chang came through that one.
It's a smart serve there. You see Andre throwing the ball behind his head as if he's going to hit the kick serve out wide, hints it up the middle of the court. Whenever you create a weak return off of that or a missed return, sometimes the returner's reading where the serve's going before he actually hits it.
Latest news we have from the #1 court, or the clubhouse court as it's called here. It's 2-all in the second set between Ferreira and Courier. First set, Ferreira 6-4.
Good point there by Andre. Thought Todd had the advantage there in the beginning, having Andre running around a little bit, opening up the court with a good slice backhand down the line. We see that ball skid off the line there, and Andre threading the needle up the line, catching Todd a half a step slow. Well played by Agassi. Can't miss that one. It's good return at the feet, but at this level, whenever you have that open court, you got to make it.
Didn't really ride it. He seemed to come up off the ball.
Absolutely. Came up a little bit. Of course, that could be the pressure of knowing that every ball that's not struck just right is going to get hit back about twice as hard at you.
Well, again, a few murmurs in the crowd, but I thought he had just missed the near baseline. 15-30, still pressure on the Martin serve. 4-all first set, been playing for 35 minutes.
Todd employing a good kick serve there out to the backhand, created the short ball, run around, hit the forehand, but just didn't do anything with it. Paid the price. You see Todd hit the slice backhand after the point had started already. Great accuracy by the Agassi backhand.
2 more break points for the third seed.
Not sure about that shot selection. I guess even the best players in the world make a mental mistake once in a while, and tough ball to hit that hard up the line. Andre played a great point to get back in after a big serve there.
But you were saying after that big serve, if only Martin had followed it in, he'd have had a nice shoulder-high volley.
He's really picking his spots to serve and volley a little bit too rarely, in my opinion.
Now that's the fastest serve of the match at 119. Second ace.
Todd's got a nice fluid motion, as we see there, hitting a big serve up the middle close to the line. Again, the pace of shot and the earliness of the timing of Agassi really takes your time away. Even at the net, you see how few split seconds you have to react to that ball. You see Todd hitting the half volley, Andre ripping across court. At this level, that's a makeable volley, though. Todd won't be too pleased with that. Bit of good fortune there. That serve was going to be well wide.
Just can't convert at the moment. That's 5 break points he's had in the match, 3 in this game.
It's amazing, though. It's another good body serve, and Andre just stood his ground and took a good cut at it and hit it just right in the tape.
Well, Andre's saying it missed. I don't think it did, actually.
We're a long way away, but I'm not sure that was long. I'm not sure it was wide either, but you see the replay here. It's a little tough to see with the top of the net in the way.
Certainly wasn't wide, I think we can say. So Martin is clinging on to his service games. 5 break points. He's survived.
That can work 2 ways for you. You can either gain a lot of confidence if you're Todd, feeling that you're able to come up with the big shots and getting through some tough situations with good shots at the right time, Or if you're Andre could be saying, I'm getting there, I'm getting there, I'm getting there. You know, this guy's going to crack inevitably. Or Andre could get a little bit discouraged as well because he's letting the opportunity slip. So a lot of psychological things going on at this juncture in the match, and it's pivotal when it gets late in the set to be able to convert those, and that's what Andre usually does so well. But obviously Todd's had a lot of experience, and he's not going to falter when the going gets tough.
Kept his cool remarkably well so far. Just that one little query of the line call. This might have been it. We'll see now. Yeah.
Andre was pretty sure the ball was out. Looked like it skidded to me, which sometimes is an indication it caught part of the line, whether it be the sideline or the service line. But with ball striking ability as well as he has, I'm not sure I would question his eyesight. These guys have battled a lot. Agassi leading 6-3 since the inception of the tour in 1990. And all their matches have been big struggles. So playing 5 times since 1994. Andre's won the last 4, so Todd's hoping for a good turn of events today.
Yes, Todd's last win was at Wimbledon back in 1994. Oh, you little rascal. Went over and on the line, I think.
Not sure Andre was happy about that shot, or perhaps thought Todd's forehand was long that he whipped back down the line. I think he'll take it either way, though. That's it. That's what you got to see from the Martin camp. Coach Dean Goldfein will be happy with that one. I think that Todd's got to keep pushing himself to take some chances on that second serve. That's the only way he's going to get control of the points.
Dean, whose sister Terry is married to Erin Crickstein.
Good serve by Andre. Erin's had a bit of a struggle this year. He's had such a tremendous career. He's been out here for a long time and won a lot of big matches. Hopefully he can get the energy level back up. David, in my opinion, perhaps that second serve double fault there was caused by some pressure that Todd put on 2 points ago on that second serve. You know, even against the top guys, it wears on you a little bit to know that your opponent's going to come in and really put some pressure on you if you don't make your first serve.
First double of the match.
That's good play by Andre. Came up with a tough low ball. Good scrambling by Todd. You see Andre come up with a good volley deep into the backhand corner. Andre, I hate to disagree with you. We're sitting right on that line up here. Looked wide to me.
Yeah, me too. Paulo Pereira from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Seen it all before. One of the most experienced of the full-timers on the tour.
See the replay there?
Yeah. Wide.
I'll stand by my guns with that one. Great shot.
That's impossible. You can't hit that one. Thank you very much. That and then the smash off the smash from Martin. 2 extraordinary shots.
Some things in tennis you can't teach. And I think that's it right there. Not sure anyone else in the world could come up with that.
So it's 5-all, and we said this was the showcase match of the day, and it's a tight one.
Todd had an opportunity there, 30-all, so. Good solid tennis there. Sun's in a precarious spot in the sky right now. Might be just aggravating enough on the Martin side of the court to throw your toss off a little bit. You see the big approach out on the forehand. Good volley to the opening court there by Todd.
Yes, particularly now it's slanting into him when he's serving to the advantage court.
Strange side for Todd to serve and volley on, although I'll contradict myself. If Todd's not going to serve and volley, I would think it would be on the ad side and this side when he's serving right into the sun. It's tough to see the next ball. You can get away with the serve, but usually the next ball you're semi-blinded on. Good serve there by Todd. Good serve at the body. So pivotal for Martin to take advantage of the weak reply, because you're not going to get very many of them against Andre. And he set up with a good body serve and then took advantage and cracked the big forehand there. Even Andre couldn't scramble to that one. Relatively easy hold for Todd, considering how the most recent two service games went prior to this.
Yes, he'll be delighted to come through holding his serve to 15, and he's 6-5 in front in the opening set. Agassi will try and take it into a tiebreak. Welcome back. Just let me tell you that over on the clubhouse court, Wayne Ferreira is serving for the match against Jim Courier. 6-4 and 5-4, and it's 15-all on the South African serve. Ferreira coming off a win. Scottsdale, Arizona is a remarkable record, Wayne. He's never lost a final, unlike Cedric Pierline, who's never won one.
Wayne's an awfully talented player.
Here's Agassi, 5-6, first set.
Again there, David, 5-6 in the first set. Todd getting a second serve opportunity that he felt content just to start the point off with.
You can tell we're having an awful lot of close calls out here, lots of oohs and ahs, but I must say I think most of the calls have been right. There's another one plumb on a line.
Right on the line there. Again, not a huge serve, 90 miles an hour. Andre varying the pace so well, but notice the location right on the line. Not only speed that can beat you, it's location, which is more important. Boy, that serve looked well long. I guess Todd thinks so, too. See, as soon as we comment, it goes the exact opposite.
It's always the way. Love game for Agassi to force the tiebreak. And let me tell you that Wayne Ferreira has beaten Jim Courier. 6-4, 6-4. That's a really good win for the South African, who until last week in Scottsdale had really struggled. He was saying that he felt very tired. He'd had a terrific end to last year, played really well at the ATP World Championships. Didn't he have a certain win against Pete Sampras?
Saw him beat Pete twice last year in 2 tremendous outings that he played. Good way to start the tiebreaker there for Todd. Nice free point right up the middle.
Third ace.
So we see the serve cleaning the line or just inside. Here's where Todd needs to really bear down, and every time he gets that second serve opportunity, do what he can to put some pressure on Andre. Good opportunity here to stand to the side or move inside the baseline, let him know you're going to do something.
Well, he went to hit it hard, didn't he? But he got it very short.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to do something with it, but it was a little bit unfortunate. He drove it hard, but hit it up the middle of the court. Todd will want to obviously get off to a good start in the tiebreaker, particularly since this is a side that's not hindered by the sun. That's why even putting more pressure returning on this side is pivotal. And the server's struggling to see the ball a little bit. Great body serve, and Andre just ripped the return back and overhit the next ball down the line. Such a dangerous opponent. Makes you pay for every mistake you make. Second serve jammed him up high to the forehand side. That's a tough serve to hit in a crucial situation like that, and got up high at Andre's right shoulder, forcing the errant return.
So the 5 points have all gone with the serve. No mini breaks yet.
See if Andre takes a little bit off of his first serve to make sure he gets it in, or he goes for the big one. That's a bad mistake by Todd. Andre did go for the big first serve, but Todd got into the rally and made a routine error.
So he now has to go down to the sunny end. How nice it is to say sunny end after the weather we had yesterday.
Well, after yesterday, I thought we were going to have to bring our galoshes and scuba gear out here. People back in Britain will be used to that weather, though, I guess. I've seen a few days like that at Wimbledon.
But not in recent years,
no,
I'm glad to say.
No, it's been great.
Yes, I just hope we get another fourth good summer.
Wow, that looks like a baseline drill they were doing, working on their cross-court forehand. Todd coming up with one extra shot with a little more pace, causing the miss hit. You see them drilling the ball back and forth, and then Todd ripping the forehand up the line, causing Andre to miss hit that one a little bit. Big opportunity here at 4-3.
The first point against the serve.
Great serve. Great serve.
Fourth ace.
What do we have there? A let?
Oh, it has been called a let. I certainly didn't hear Paulo Pereira.
Maybe Paulo was using sign language on that one. I never heard him either.
Of course, it's He gets a little bleep on his chair from the trembler device. So it's 4-3 first serve.
That's a tough. It's incredible that Andre could even come that close off a ball like that to the topspin lob. Great volley by Todd. Players are always looking for clear and decisive calls. And if you follow those two rules, generally you'll be a little better off if you're in the chair or on the lines.
Solid play from a solid player. And Todd Martin has 3 set points.
Todd Martin epitomizes proficiency on the professional tour, and showing it there at 4-3, consolidating with 2 first serves against the man with the best return in the game. That's a big miss. That is a big miss right there. Played the point well, forcing Andre to come forward. Relatively routine forehand. Todd overhit because he saw the opening, got a little anxious.
Still 2 set points.
Did not want to give a man of this caliber a glimmer of hope.
So this is the big one, the 3rd set point. But of course this one is on Martin's serve.
Serving into the sun again. Strength against strength. Serve against the returner. Going for the body serve there. I had a bad suspicion that that 6-3 point was going to cost Todd a little bit. These top players are incredible when you give them a little breath of life. And although it was not a routine shot at this level, Todd shouldn't have missed that forehand. See Andre generate incredible racket head speed to drag that ball wide off the court. Still not over though. 6-all. Todd's 1 big serve away from getting another set point, so we'll see if he can regroup.
And he's now got the sun in his back rather than in his eyes.
Debatable call there, but you just can't. It's one of the problems of hitting the ball as hard as Andre does. You don't have much time to make the call. Well struck ball. Looks like it just missed, but again, that's a tough angle to call from up here.
So it's set point number 4 for Todd Martin.
Oh, Todd. Tremendous effort by Andre to get back in the court. Todd hit 2 big forehands there. Had him pinned in the forehand corner. The great hand-eye coordination that Andre had. He came up with the heavily topspin forehand volley, dip at his feet. Todd wasn't able to control it. 6-all second, 7-all second serve here for Todd. Let's see if he puts some pressure on Andre.
Yeah, it was a short serve, wasn't it? And so, having saved 4 set points, Andre Agassi now has 1 of his own.
Got to win or lose doing what you do best, and I'm not sure being a defensive returner is Todd Martin's forte. I'd like to see him take a big swing at that. What a tiebreaker.
8-all, yes, the little grin, a grimace maybe. Big serve. 116 and full of depth.
Another good serve by Todd. Still not serving and volleying a lot. Another great play is to serve big and try to attack on the first ball against a man that's so good with a target like Andre Agassi.
So set point number 5 for Todd Martin. This match has now lasted the same time as Pete Sampras's match. Exactly an hour. Oh, did he commit a little too soon there?
A little too soon. Man that hit the ball as hard as Andre, though. I guess he felt like he had to guess, but I think that last point, David, epitomized Andre's intelligence using his serve there. Only hitting at 86 miles an hour, but hitting it short in the box, right on the sideline, kicked way up and out of the court, and dragged Todd virtually out of position to play the point.
Andre had forgotten that at 9-all we change ends again after every 6 points, of course. We've had 18. A long walk. 78 feet from baseline to baseline.
I would not want to be calling lines right about now at 9-all in the tiebreaker, I don't think.
A little nod from the baseline judge in the direction of Paulo Pereira. Just confirming he'd seen it. Second set point, Agassi. Got it. 11-9. Agassi takes the tiebreaker, having had 5 set points against him.
Well, I think that Andre epitomizes how great of a player he is by not just playing 1 point at a time, playing on his terms.
Terrific tiebreak. One wonders whether Martin has missed his chance. Agassi takes it, 11-9. There we are, the first set statistics. 16 winners from Agassi to 15, 6 errors to 15, and nobody winning any break points. Martin not having any break points. Interestingly, Andre won 3 more points, 51 to 48.
Yeah, I think that's a good sign of just how close the match was. The big sign was that Andre had 5 break opportunities and Todd had none. For most of the first set, Andre's service percentage was in the 40s, so I feel like Todd really need to put the pressure on a little bit more and create some more opportunities to get to a break point situation. And again, in the tiebreaker there, Andre toughed him out, but you know, this level, you have to win or lose on your terms, and I just don't think Todd played those big points the way he would have wanted to.
Will he suffer a reaction having missed the 5 set points? Well, these are the sort of terms, if only he could have done that on those 5 sets.
Hindsight's 20/20, and of course it's easy from up here to say that, but I've just seen Todd Martin be so effective and so intimidating playing the big, strong game that he has at 6'5". I'd like to see him try to do that a little bit more, otherwise he's playing into Andre's hands. Andre's such a great player. He'll take advantage of it, too. Little variety of shots there. Andre's a tough man to drop shot, not necessarily because of his speed, but from where he plays in the court. It's usually standing on or inside the baseline, so it's tough to get it short enough where it's going to create a good situation for yourself. Todd was fortunate there, but now he has that opportunity. It's love 30. See if he can keep the pressure on.
Hasn't had a break point, I remind you. Todd Martin saved 5. Well, there's been so many tight calls on the baseline.
Yeah, the boys aren't missing the lines by too much, but again, I'd characterize that as an unforced error. 15:30, you want to make sure that you do something in a positive mode. Andre's showing this game why he's been so successful in the last 18 months. Whenever he gets down, he knows exactly what he needs to do and has got the confidence to execute it.
Great shot.
Not good enough there by Todd. Good effort to try to come into the net, but Andre was up to the task, ripping the backhand pass cross court.
So Andre comes from love 30 down to win the opening game of the second set. Confirmation of that fine win for Wayne Ferreira, the 9th seed over the 7th seed, Jim Courier, by 6-4, 6-4. So Wayne Ferreira awaits the winner of Marcelo Rios or Adrian Voinea. If it's Rios, it'll be a repeat of last week's Scottsdale final, in which Rios won the first set, but Ferreira won the match.
Ferreira's a talented man, and I've seen him play some great tennis in recent years, and he's one of the few guys that has the talent level to upset the top guys, and Jim Courier's been playing some good tennis in the last 12 to 18 months, so that's a very good win for Wayne. Wayne's obviously on a roll after winning the event last week in Scottsdale, so he'll be looking to take advantage of the gap in the draw where Mr. Voinier had defeated Thomas Muster yesterday and now plays Marcelo to get to the quarterfinals. So it'll be some interesting stuff out here.
What we might do, Paul, we'll just flip through our little computer, because talking to Voinier last night, there was a real doubt as to whether he was going to be able to play because he hurt his shoulder.
I understood he had some tendonitis in the shoulder, and I happened to be getting some treatment on my back this morning when he was in there, and he said his shoulder was feeling significantly better. So we see he started the match up love 30 against Marcelo Rios in the first game of their match.
Yes, because he was saying if he'd lost the second set to Muster, and I think Thomas had a set point, if I remember, he was going to quit. He was in so much pain.
Crazy shot there by Todd. But yeah, it's amazing what happens when you're a little bit injured and things aren't, your expectations drop, you relax a little bit, you tend to play a little bit better, and that's perhaps what happened last night, and took advantage of a good situation against Thomas on the hard courts, and then was able to come through in straight sets. Strong volley there by Todd.
Well, sometimes an unintentional shot, I don't think Todd Martin meant that volley to be quite so short, can turn into a good one. Todd's
only been to the net 19 times out of 57 points. I'd like to see him come in a little bit more than that. Rare mistake there, David. We don't see Andre miss too many routine backhands from the baseline.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Andre's been in that net almost as many times, 15 to 19 of Todd Martin's.
It's very surprising. The thing about Andre that makes it so terrific when he comes into the net is his ground strokes are so penetrating and so debilitating that generally when he's at the net, he's having pretty relatively routine volleys. And with Todd's strength from the baseline, he can come in a little bit more forcefully, create opportunities where he has a lot of chest-high volleys, and I think that that's what he needs to try to do versus staying back too many times.
Lovely play.
The other thing tactically that Todd's not utilizing nearly enough is he has one of the best down-the-line backhands in the game. I've only seen him hit one or two the entire match, and see Andre close the point out there. Although Andre's got arguably the biggest forehand in the game, you have to keep him honest. Don't want to totally back down from one of your strengths. Todd trying to hit one there again, a little bit further into the court than I think he should be, getting beat with the wide, short-angled wide serve. Having to lunge just a bit at that return. Another 2 feet inside the baseline, he would have had a good solid swing at it.
I think he made it.
Andre examining that one. It was a well-constructed point by Todd there. He had Andre on defensive. You see the big two-hander into the open court. Relatively routine volley that Todd hits and aims for right on the line. Maybe he wasn't aiming for the line.
Yes, I think it's definitely a case of too close for comfort. 30-15. Oh, wow, that's doing to Andre what he does to you.
Andre doesn't see that too often, and the big first serve, 112 miles an hour up the middle. Todd just hit the clean winner back to the forehand corner. Early in the set, but this is a good opportunity to set the tone for Todd if he wants to put some pressure on him.
So for the first time in the match, Andre Agassi is facing break point. He lost a little bit of concentration yesterday in the second set against Sheng Xiaoqin, but that was understandable because between the first and second sets there was 3.5 hours of rain.
Okay, Todd, here's your chance now. Second serve. Missed opportunity there. Big forehand return. I guess he felt like he didn't have the time to sneak in behind it, but had Agassi on the dead stretch, it would have been a good opportunity to try to close the point out at net. Andre, with the flick of the wrist, got the forehand back deeply and very quickly. Andre set that point up very well, though. You see him roll the racket head over that two-hander and drag Todd way off the court. Didn't do quite enough. As you see with the low forehand volley, that was after the backhand angle. Didn't do enough with that volley, and Todd had the opening.
Didn't really move in, did he? Was playing that volley from way behind the service line.
Looked to be a half a step late on that one.
So a second break point, and now the second serve.
That's a little bit of Andre's own medicine there. Todd creating a tremendous shot up the line, the one-handed firm slice around the net post. See the slice defensive return.
Did it go round?
Just over the top, maybe.
Yeah.
All I know is it went inside that little white line.
And it's Martin who's ahead. 2-1, second set. There's the situation. A change around now. Todd Martin, now he must be ruining the 5 set points he missed in the tie-break, as now he's up a break in the second set. It's good serving. 2/3 of first serves in, and winning a very high percentage behind the first.
That's too good. All set up with the first, with the turn of serve. Very penetrating two-hander back to the two-fisted backhand of Todd Martin, getting Todd in his scrambling mode, which at 6'5", Todd does not want to do too much of. Again there, David, I felt he hit the good wide serve and created the opening to hit his strong two-hander up the line, and he's shied away from it. The fear of the Agassi forehand does a lot to his fellow competitors on the tour.
That's more of what we both feel Todd should be doing.
Good forceful tennis there. You see the strong serve up the middle, creating a nice high volley. Ball seemed to jam Andre a little bit. His hand talent is so good that sometimes, if you watch his feet aren't even in the right position, but his racket head speed and the ability that he has with his hand lets him get away with some crazy stuff. Something you just can't teach. Great serve.
And that's an emphatic way of emphasizing the break.
Good consolidation there by Todd. Always most vulnerable against the top guys right after you break to get broken right back. Man of Todd's experience isn't going to let that happen too often, but he did come up with some big serves as we see the replay of 40-15. Unreturnable. That's the ball right there. That's a great shot. Not too many guys in the world that can hit that shot, but Todd's one of the few, and I think he has to keep Andre honest once in a while. See the two-hander by Andre, the big hole right there up the line. Great play by Todd.
It was a shot I thought was working particularly well for Pete Sampras today, the backhand down the line. Even the in-to-out one, which he was hitting from the middle of the court and fading away to the forehand corner.
Yeah, almost like a doubles type shot. Great return. Even against a man like Michael Joyce, who's very good at taking the ball early on the two-handed side, you have to play strong sometimes into the forehand corner to keep him honest.
Certainly Martin coming on strong at the moment. 3 games in a row he's won, and now 15-30.
Big chance here with the second serve, David. Sense a little concentration lapse here by Andre. See if Todd's able to take advantage of that. Still a long way from the second set being over, but Todd really could have a huge impact with a double break situation.
Yes, and there was a slight lack of commitment on that point from Andre. The first serve, he sort of throwed the arm over a bit. It was only 95, and he didn't recover from the second. And at the moment, it's Todd Martin very much in the ascendancy as he's up by 4 games to 1 now with 2 breaks. Bringing you up to date with today's results. Of course, we're playing for places in the quarterfinals today. Pete Sampras is through in the top half, 6-3, 6-4. He'll play Renzo Furlan of Paul Harhaus. Furlan won his rain-delayed match earlier. They'll be in action later. And Carlos Costa won the Battle of the Costas, and he plays Goran Ivanisevic. 6-4, 7-5. Goran's incredible run continues. Just one man through in the bottom half of the draw so far. Wayne Ferreira, excellent win over Jim Courier. He now awaits either Marcelo Rios or Adrian Boinea. Rios won his delayed match earlier today against Jonathan Stark in the second round. And of course the winner of this, Agassi Martin, plays Chang or Birch, who are next on the center court.
Looking at the service percentages there, Todd at 67% and Andre up to 52. Relatively even besides that, with the winners and unforced errors relatively balanced out. But again, as Todd's game permits, I think he's able to afford a few more unforced errors if he's got a few more winners against a man of Andre's caliber.
So Martin on a real roll. And
see if Andre, this is a good mental test for Andre to see if he's going to go through the motions this second set and save it up, or if he'll bear down and try to get back in this match.
That's terrific serving. 82% in the second set from Todd. Yeah,
see an old glimmer of Andre Agassi from 3 years ago here, where 3 or 4 years ago, where periodically he would lose the quick second set. Not a great habit to get into, but someone of his abilities able to get out of it an incredible amount of time. Not sure you want to do it with Todd Martin, though.
I was mentioning earlier, Paul, before you joined us, that this is the match that's the subject of the prediction contest in the press room, in the media room. I must confess I've gone for Todd to win in 3, having lost the first. So at the moment, things are looking good.
I think you had well, things are on line right now, but the way this game goes, there's a lot of tennis left, and just take a couple good shots here and there, and Andre to get the motivation level up, and just about every player's nightmares when he's motivated and focused, so we'll see if he can regain that.
Yeah, I fancy my chances of the second set, but I don't think I'll take the third for granted just yet.
1 point at a time.
1-5.
I'll predict a quick game here for Todd Martin. I'll predict a quick game and see if Andre proves me wrong.
Yeah. The competitive instinct is not there just at the moment. It's a breather time.
This is the antithesis of the way his coach used to approach his matches. Good serve there.
Yeah.
Brad Gilbert, of course, I'm speaking of, who is historically one of the most fierce competitors around. Wouldn't give you an inch. Andre's got a lot of talent to fall back on, as we see Brad with his hat turned backwards. Probably having a tough time dealing with this, but 30-all. See if Andre can fight his way back in here.
Yes, because at least that would mean he would be, assuming that Martin held serve in the next game, serving first in the decider. And it's a big serve from Andre.
Andre's shown some spark from Love 30 here. He's set out to convince me wrong, which wouldn't be the first time.
Brad Gilbert, who wrote his book, Winning Ugly, and I think it was a really good title.
I think he was happy with the way that it resembled his game, but I think the bottom line was he basically won, and great man to have in your corner. Knows the game very well.
Made the most of his talents. Used to drive Michael Stich in particular to distraction. I remember watching him come, I think, from 2-0 down on the grandstand court at the US Open one year.
Sloppy double fault there. I believe one year after the Masters in Madison Square Garden, New York, McEnroe said that when he started losing to guys like Brad Gilbert, it was time to take a little sabbatical from the game.
John McEnroe, who was due to play a special exhibition match against Steffi Graf at the Olympic Center in Atlanta next week, but I gather it had to be cancelled. They've had so much rain, the stadium isn't finished. That would have been an interesting match.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much competitive juices would be flowing there as we see Andre close out the game. I think that's a good play for Andre to hang in there as much as probably like to get this set over with. I'm sure Brad will be happy that he's now in a position where he can start off the third set if Todd's able to hold his serve here.
Yes, Martin will serve for the set at 5-2. We'll be back. Welcome back. Live action continuing. This terrific third round match at the Newsweek Champions Cup. And if you've perhaps just come in after an evening out, cinema, or maybe down the pub, settle down and have a nice cup of coffee. What is it, 11:20 back home? Relax a bit and watch what's a very fine tennis match. Todd Martin serving to tie it up at 1-all. Andre in no man's land, as we call it, in the middle of the court. Not the place to be caught.
Great return of serve there. There's always danger lurking playing Andre. You never get too comfortable. Able to come up with a huge return off that serve. 110-mile-an-hour wide serve to the backhand.
Base number 6 at 106 miles an hour. Straight down the middle. Two more set points for Todd Martin. He had 5, of course, in the first set.
Great serve at the body there to finish off the second set. Well, let's see if Andre Agassi can change gears here, as we've seen him do so many times in the past. I'm sure Todd's aware of that, and Andre knows what it's all about. So we'll see him try to rebound and start off on the right foot here in the third.
If you were Todd Martin there, you'd be saying, right, he's going to be saying to himself, Agassi, I'm going to get started now. Well, let's get on top of him straight away.
Yeah, if you're Todd Martin, you want to, Andre made a sloppy mistake there. You want to continue playing your game, forgetting where you are, what you're doing, and just play the next point. Just try to structure your game plan 1 point at a time. difficult to block out the other man, but you need to.
Agassi hasn't engaged the higher gear.
It's tough to, I tell you, it's very, even a man of Andre's talent, it's very difficult to turn it on and off. And although he had a little mental lapse there in the second set, it's rolled over to the first 2 points in the third. He'll be struggling to recover. It's a good opportunity now for Todd to put an exclamation point on things and really, really bear down.
Dear, oh dear.
3 sloppy mistakes gives Todd a big opportunity to start off the third with a break, but as we'll see the kick serve, Todd content with just hitting it back, getting the unforced error. Another second serve opportunity.
Lucky, that was a very hard net cord. Could have gone anywhere on the second serve at break point, 3 break points. Didn't really go for that second serve. And would you say that at love 40 you could really go for broke?
Well, you got to, you know, again, as I tried to reiterate my earlier points, I think that Todd needs to dictate play, especially at love 40. I mean, you have a second serve. Make sure you play it offensively. Again, another second serve here. Of course, he's got 3 unforced errors, so perhaps he thinks Andre's getting in a rut and he wants to make him play.
That was it.
Played.
So Todd Martin.
Decisive return of serve there, David.
Certainly was. And he's got the immediate break of serve at the start of the final set, and a real buzz around the stadium court here in Indian Wells, because the third seed, who seemed to have come through the crisis when he won the first set tiebreak from 5 set points down, is now right in a crisis.
A lot of tennis left, but you know, I like Todd's position, and a lot better off than being down 0-1.
Now then, we will of course be bringing you live coverage as we move to the weekend. We're starting 2 hours earlier tomorrow. That's Friday, and we'll be starting with the start of play here at 10 a.m. so that's 6 p.m. UK time, and at 7 p.m. Central European time. And you can see for yourselves our times of coverage of the semi-finals and final over the weekend. Do hope you'll stay with us for the conclusion of the first Mercedes Super 9 event of the ATP Tour. Now then, we know Agassi has all the skills to break serve, although of course he hasn't in this match so far.
Not too many matches where Andre goes 3 sets and doesn't break serve, so I like his chances of breaking once. The biggest, Todd missing that volley. The biggest problem here is Andre's motivation and mental discipline, whether or not he's able to kind of bear down as we see the big forehand return. Two good returns, but you just, at this time in a match especially, you just don't miss waist to chest high backhand volleys. It was a hard return, but at this level, that's a relatively routine volley. Well,
Well, now he's stepped up the gear.
Andre's not quite ready to throw the towel in yet. Todd needs to reassert himself a bit.
Three breakback points. So that's 6 break points that Martin has saved in the match so far. He'd love to get out of these two. He won't. An Agassi special. And we're level again. 1 set all and 1 game all.
So dangerous off the return of serve. You see a good wide second serve. Not quite wide enough, but it's very deep in the box, and Andre just ripped it up the line. Todd's downfall that game, in my opinion, were the first 2 points. The first point, it was a low volley, but Andre was totally off the court. Pace of shot handcuffed him. Todd better take a couple steps back, couple deep breaths, and get his own concentration going again.
Just a second ace from Agassi.
Good aggressive stuff there by Todd. See the big forehand opening up the court. Close off the floating slice backhand and stick the volley. It was well executed.
Shot. There's that backhand down the line that Paul Annacone was talking about.
It's a great shot from a big man. You think you have him on the stretch. You see Andre roll the ball up high there. Todd back with the cross-court backhand. Another little more angled. It's the clean winner up the line. Second serve, 30 all. See how Andre chooses to play this. Good forceful stuff by Todd. Agassi up 30 love this game. Won't be too happy with the way he approached the next 3 points. It's a very strange first 3 games. The guys both seem like they're jockeying for position, almost as if it were the beginning of the match. It's a good way to even it out at deuce. Big serve out wide to the Martin backhand.
Plenty of pace, 107.
Good play by Andre. I'd like to have a closer look at that second serve and see where that landed. It was on the line. It didn't get a lot of the line, but still was very short in the box.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Todd return that a little more offensively.
Yes, I think it was outside edge of the line if it was anything, but that's all it has to be.
Whatever it takes. As it touches 1 millimeter of it, it's good. Difficult to see that ball.
Some big serving from Agassi. Before that game, he'd only served 1 ace. He served 3 in it. And Agassi has come from a breakdown in the final set. And now he leads 2-1 in the decider. Stay with us. We could be in for a fascinating conclusion to this match. And there's the scoreline, a real buzz, as you can hear, around this magnificent stadium, or centre court, which holds 11,500, and not too many spare seats today. People basking in the sunshine and enjoying this terrific schedule of matches. We've already seen Pete Sampras. Still to come, Michael Chang. Even outdoors, they've had Ivanisevic, Courier, Ferreira.
Quite a menu for the paying customers to come in and see. Quite a great deal of depth in the talent charts here. This is crucial time for Todd Martin. This is a pivotal game. Andre was fortunate to get out of that last game, played a good serve at break point. Now it's Todd's turn to have his back against the wall. This could be a big momentum swing if Andre gets the break here.
Yes, the intensity that was lacking in Agassi in the latter stages of the second set is right back there. You've heard his reaction of disappointment to missing that.
Seems like his focus is definitely back. Wonder if that intensity level would be there if Todd were serving at 2-1 in the third after holding his first service game instead of getting broken. .120 miles an hour, the fastest serve of the match there from Todd Martin.
And his seventh ace.
Nice fluid motion for a big man. Good soft hand and arm. It's a good hold for Todd. Came up with 4 big serves after losing the first point there. Andre could have really made a statement there by breaking serve again. Instead, Andre's now serving a 2-all with new balls. These faster balls now could be an opportunity for Todd to take advantage of some second serves. Ball will go through the air a little bit quicker, a little bit more difficult to control.
Not even close as Agassi.
A little bit of sloppy footwork there. Second serve kind of at Todd's body. Didn't get out of the way to hit it. It's often difficult for a man of Todd's size to get out of the way of the ball. So a good effective serve at the big man is at the body.
Just a little look from Agassi in the direction of Paulo Pereira, getting confirmation it was a fault.
Again with the big flat backhand drive up the line. Caught Andre on his heels a little bit. Not a great location on that approach shot there by Andre. Trying to force some forward pressure on Todd there. The big strong backhand up the line, but Todd's wingspan was able to flick that forehand cross court.
Ooh, so close. Agassi hadn't read that at all. He was going for the cross court.
Well struck ball there by Todd, a little bit wide. Todd jumped on the return to serve, but Andre got himself back in the point, and there you see Todd on the dead run, just missing that forehand. He'd like to have that one again. Serve. Cleaning the middle line.
A fifth ace. And in the first two sets, he'd only served one. Lashes the winner. So every game of this set has been keenly contested. And it's Agassi who's in front once again. 3-2 in the decider. They're on serve.
And trying to follow that return in behind the second serve.
2-3, we're on serve. Final set.
Didn't miss that one by much.
Do you, when you're reviewing with Pete a match, sort of say, remember that specific point, and maybe we could have done something different there?
If habits start to set in, you do. Or if you see good trends being set, you want to always remind someone that you're helping of the good trends that they're doing and the positive things that you're doing. Try not to think too many negative things. Great serve up the middle there.
Takes it so early. He was a couple of yards inside the baseline when he hit that return.
Just incredible hand-eye coordination. Again, there's just certain things you can't teach in this game or any other game. Andre Agassi is one of those freak athletes that has that hand-eye coordination to do some tremendous stuff out there. Kind of pounding Andre into that corner, and Andre's smiling as if to say, wait a second, that's the corner of the court that I hit the ball with my big forehand from. Wait a second, there's a second one over there. Again, here we go again. Oh, that's a ball he will not miss too often. Good ball, good return at the feet. I think that's why Todd has been shying away from coming in so much, as Andre's incredible ability to dip those returns at your feet. Man of Todd's height makes it very difficult to get down there. See Todd winning 61%. His net rushing points, only been there 6 more times than Andre. It's a little bit astounding to me.
Again, the disappointment from Andre when he misses the return. And we're tied up once again, 3-all in the final set.
So nice from a tennis player's vision to watch a man like Andre Agassi. You just see in his eyes when a second serve comes up. Although he missed that ball, he's inside the baseline, he's aggressive, he's leaning forward. It's really something special to watch. He wants to hit that ball. Pivotal 7th game here.
He just missed it. It was just long.
Todd did the right thing, guessing one side or another, and had the big forehand. Went for the hit or miss shot, which is all you could do. See Andre hitting the big overhead. Todd was right there. A little strong. First 2 points of every game are very, very critical, especially at this stage in a match. When you're the server and you get by first 2 points like Agassi's done here, definitely flip-flops the pressure and puts everything on the returner. That serve caught an updraft, I think, hitting the baseline almost. Good second serve. Todd didn't do enough with that return. Agassi continually punishes an opponent whenever he gets time to just sit there and hit the ball from the middle of the court.
Another desperately close call. Andre accepts it.
Good body serve there by Andre to set that up.
And a love service game. Takes Agassi in front by the margin of 4-3 in the final set. But we're on serve. This match far from decided. Stay with us, won't you? There's the scoreline. Andre Agassi with his nose in front by virtue of having served first in this final set. Just a reminder, some of the earlier results of the day. Pete Sampras beating Michael Joyce 6-3, 6-4. Also through to the quarterfinals so far today. Carlos Costa, Goran Ivanisevic, and Wayne Ferreira. Good win for Ferreira over Jim Courier.
Well done for Wayne there. It's a big opportunity now. Let's see what Andre does the first 2 points of this game. See if he can firmly put his foot, so to speak, down in Todd's back. Great serve out wide.
And one that Andre didn't pick. You could see he was swaying to the backhand and had to try and adjust, and ended up lunging for it.
Variety is definitely the key when serving Andre Agassi. Great second serve up the middle there. 93 miles per hour, just so close to the center line. Andre just had to lunge just to get his racket on it. See the toss behind the head. If you're returning serve, indicating a kick serve generally out to the backhand. Todd, well disguised, hitting it up the middle.
Todd Martin trying to answer a love service game with one of his own, and we've been noticing over the last few weeks just how often that actually happens.
Oh. A little sloppy there, a little fortunate on Todd's end. Big key there, though, David, was Todd hit 2 out of 3 first points were second serves, and he was able to still win the point. See Andre getting a little sloppy there and missing that forehand. Saying, it was 40 love. I'll serve this game.
Looks as if Wayne Ferreira is going to play Marcelo Rios, because he's 6-3 and 4-1 up on Adrian Boinaire. Boinaire, who beat Thomas Muster, the world #1 yesterday. Both Agassi and Pete Sampras could be world #1 come Monday. Yet another change. Fascinating duel.
That was long, Andre. Yeah, the rankings have been on the roller coaster ride this year. Definitely had some excitement. Got a third person in there vying for it this year. Last year it was just Andre and Pete battling it out, as we see Andre fly that forehand long. Thomas Muster's been a little unfortunate. 2 weeks being #1, 2 weeks losing consecutively after that. Great serve out wide. a long year, though. A lot of tennis for these guys left, and I think that be some exciting stuff, the upcoming tour events leading into the Grand Slams. Great ball.
Well, we thought when Todd Martin won the opening point of this game, there might be a glimmer for him, but Agassi has really responded well on the last 2 points, so from 15 to 30-15.
Good play by Andre. Todd hit the big return, had Andre struggling there, but being the big man that he is, Todd was actually a little sluggish getting back to the next ball. You see Andre run around that backhand and pound the forehand into the corner and put away the easy backhand volley.
Incredibly, in this set, Andre's played 10 points at the net and won 9 of them.
I think that shows that generally when he comes to the net, it's not off of a sitting duck, so to speak. Usually has the opponent pummeled at the baseline.
We stay on serve, and with those breaks of serve each at the start of this set. Since then, we've gone with serve, and it's Agassi who leads 5-4. Martin must serve to stay in the match. Welcome back. Well, you've been away at that commercial break. Paul Anakin and I have been deciding who's going to win. His theory is that Agassi will break here or lose. So in other words, if it goes to 5-all, Todd Martin is going to win it. It'll go to a tiebreak if it's 6-all. We shall see.
There's no method to my madness, just perhaps just madness to my madness.
Listen to the reception.
We'll see. Fans enjoying this. It's been quite a struggle out here. We'll see how Todd handles this big occasion after 2 hours on the court. See if he can get those big legs moving.
Well, a corrected call, and that will go down as an ace.
That was Andre taking a good long look at that one. Again, we see the replay. If he caught the line, he didn't catch all of it. Just takes a fraction, though.
Personally, in a situation like this, I expect Andre to come up with that one moment of genius that can just swing a really tight match his way.
The great ones have the tendency to do that. That's a tremendous serve. My predictions usually come like the weather forecast. You know, they cover their bases. They say partly cloudy with a chance of sun, and perhaps there'll be some rain. If you throw enough options out there, for sure you'll hit something. That's a great get by Todd Martin. Again, Andre taking that serve so early really takes the big man's time away, and Todd still fleet of foot enough to get over there and get his racket on that ball. That's a great get. Great get.
Long arms and legs don't half help.
.40-15, making what could turn out to be a costly mistake. Don't want to miss that ball to give Andre Agassi a 40-30 point, 1 point from getting back to deuce. Of course, if you come up with a serve like that, I guess it doesn't matter. That's good stuff with Todd Martin having his back to the wall, having to hold serve to tie it up at 5-all in the third set.
He's 2 aces to start and finish the game. 10 in all he's served now.
It's quite a chess match at the end of these matches with these guys when they can consolidate their service holds and then put all the pressure on the guy serving. Oh, that was... I have to disagree with that call.
Yeah, me too. I was going to say that was wide.
Todd pointing a finger accusatorily at the mark. Luckily, it wasn't a derogatory finger, just a regular pointing finger. Good second serve at Todd's forehand wing there. Todd's got a really, didn't seem focused to return that second serve, David. You know, it's 5-all in the third. Get the adrenaline going, get the feet going. I actually thought that serve was in, and I thought the first serve was blocked. Maybe I'm just losing my sight. I'm losing all good senses out here, I think.
I must confess, I've gone with you.
Did you think that one caught as well?
I am. I've gone with you on both of those, but there we go.
Getting Todd right back into the thick of it this game now. 30-15. You see Andre has 3 double faults thus far. What a great forehand by Andre right in the corner. Again, we see Todd trying to do a lot with that second serve, but I almost wonder if perhaps he shouldn't just, instead of hitting it so hard, just stand in a little bit and try to come to the net behind it, because when he hits it that hard, he's also giving himself less time to get back in the point. Andre's so good at taking the ball on the rise, he hits to the opening, and then Todd's on a string running back and forth.
So a comfortable service game for Andre Agassi. And he has that comforting feeling, I always feel. If you go 6-5 in front, you know, well, the only one I'm going to lose is in a tiebreak. And almost, I feel, in these circumstances, you have a free swing on your opponent's serve.
Well, as I said in the last game, it's always nice to consolidate your service holds, and it's at the end of these matches when everything, all the points are very pivotal. When you get through your service game, you can just feel the pressure switch from one player to the next. And of course, when you're facing someone of Andre Agassi's status and return of serve abilities, the pressure is even magnified. And it takes someone of Todd's experience to be able to rise to that occasion. And as we've seen the last 4 times that they've played, Todd has fallen just short of that. So Todd's been just come up a little bit shy on the big opportunities, losing to Andre the last 4 times. So again, he's in a situation here where he's close, but there's still a lot of tennis left. And as you said before, you wait for those few moments of excellence from Andre, and we'll see if he creates it here or he has to struggle out through a tiebreaker.
Just looking back at their previous records and the tiebreak record between them, they'd played just 4 tiebreaks before this match, and it was 2-all.
Great serve there. I had a talk with Pete last year about the tiebreaks. He started off the year very poorly in tiebreakers, and the year before he was very dominant. I really believe, no matter how good of a player you are, that things tend to balance out periodically, and you just go through little ruts and high times as well. Missed hit volley there by Todd, giving Andre the opportunity to pass. The relentless returning abilities of Agassi tend to wear you down.
Yes, because he played the more difficult volley really well. 15-all. Got underneath it. It was almost as if he was moving to recover from the shot before he played it. He didn't really commit the body weight forward.
Relentless pressure from Agassi once the baseline points start, and that tends to wear an opponent down, even someone of Todd Martin's abilities. Big chance here at 15-30. What a great return.
Yes, it was a good serve, and it came right back at his toes, right onto the baseline.
First 3 points, Todd was looking like he wanted to serve and volley. And that's off of that serve, he chose to serve and stay back. Hit a great serve, had Agassi on the total stretch.
2 match points. Well, he was going for the extravagant.
He definitely took a swing at that ball. You don't see Andre Agassi hit a ball clearly off the throat, where he's just standing still very often, and perhaps a little overzealous at that opportunity.
Still match point.
Two good first serves. Squares the game at deuce. See Todd hitting the serve out wide as he did the 15-30 point, choosing to follow it in that time. It's good offensive tennis there. I think Todd has to, although it's right at the end of the match, remember for future reference, when he decides to stay back and hit his first serve, look for that first ball to hit hard and come in. It's a great strategic move against an Andre Agassi or Jim Courier or Michael Chang. Well, that was quite an exhibition of serving to get out of that hole, David. And here we go into the tiebreaker.
Yes, brave play indeed from Todd Martin. Super stuff from 2 match points down, and will go the distance. Agassi to serve the first point.
Best players tend to save the best for big times. See what Andre's still got left in his bag of tricks. Oh,
no.
Great play off the return of serve, taking a little pace off of it, but taking it early. Didn't hit it that hard. Got exactly what he wanted. Thought the ball was going long. A little bit of nerves perhaps there, David?
Yes, praying. But, I mean, in these circumstances, the club players might say, call it out, but you've got to hit out at this level. If in doubt, go for it.
That's some good stuff from Todd. That was a key point. You don't want to get down a quick mini break in the tiebreaker against Andre at this last third set here. You really need to stay right with him.
We saw the tiebreak statistics, so they both came into the match with a 4-2 record this year. Is that a slight mishit?
A little bit of a mishit. I think, Todd, when you serve wide, you either have to serve the ball short and wide or through the guy. And it seemed to me that Todd kind of hit an in-between serve here as we watch again. It wasn't really wide. You know, it was right in Andre's wheelhouse there, and he didn't have quite enough cut on that ball. At this level, against an Andre Agassi, you pay the price for that. No.
Ooh, so close. For a time there, it really looked as if he'd made it. Just drifted wide.
Good serve by Andre to set up that short return. Just Actually, Todd had a good swing at that. I don't know. I'd say he's going to make that shot 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah, half the audience thought he did. They've only realized now that he didn't, but he didn't. That wasn't a bad call by any means. Terrific play from Agassi.
2 big serves there. People still making a lot of noise about that sideline, but unfortunately, unless you're sitting right on that line, which we happen to be, it's difficult to see, but it was clearly out. You saw Todd made no expression there, so he knew he had missed it.
No. He's missed that one. And that may well be curtains, because that's too many breaks, a 5-1 lead, and going to the sunny end.
Good serve at the body there by Todd, but he wasn't able to get Andre. Wasn't able to get Andre moving. Last glimmer of hope here. Got to get this point.
No, well, Agassi's played an immaculate tiebreak, it should be said. Huge disappointment for Todd Martin, but it ain't over. Remember last year, Richard Krajicek, 6-love up in a tiebreak at the US Open and 2 sets to 1 up, lost.
John McEnroe had to do some commentating standing on his head because of that, I think.
Certainly did.
Still amazes me, though, what 1 point means. What happens if Todd won that first point and gets up 1-love serving? Makes a big impression. That's good stuff. Andre played a terrific tiebreaker there.
Certainly did. And he takes it by 7 points to 1. And the marquee match of the day has lived up to all expectations. It's gone the distance. Agassi has been tested to the full, but he's come through. 2 hours and 19 minutes it lasted. And Agassi wins it 7-6, 2-6, 7-6. And he advances to the quarterfinals, where he will play either Michael Chang or Arno Birch. Terrific stuff.
Good stuff. I'll tell you, Andre really showing what he's made of there. Coming back in that first tiebreaker, for all intents and purposes, Todd should have won the first tiebreaker, being up 6-3. You look at the statistics there. Todd Martin serving 68% first serves and still losing. Tough to lose a match and not get broken an entire match. It's a little bit disappointing. Andre,
he lost his serve, of course, just that once.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. That's right. And after having that first break in the third set, thanks for the correction there. And Andre, of course, only served 51%, which is a low percentage for Andre. And I think that in retrospect, Todd could have utilized a couple different varying strategies that he didn't today. But, you know, when you lose 7-6 in the third, it's only a point here and there. But either way, when you have an opportunity against a man of Andre Agassi's status, you're still a little bit disappointed that you didn't come through.
Yes, I mean, obviously we'll look back in particular the first set tiebreak when Todd had 5 set points and couldn't close it out. It's one statistic that isn't up there, one of the curiosities of the tennis scoring system. In fact, Todd won 5 more points in the match because, of course, he won the second set decisively. He won 114 points to Agassi's 109, but it's not the points, it's the games and the sets that decide, and it just emphasizes the question who wins the really big points.
Yeah, it shows you how important it really is to play the big points well. And the top players, the Agassis and Sampras's and Moosters, have the innate abilities to come through at the right times. And Andre showed again today why he's the man who he is.
And it's good to see him, 1 or 2 doubts raised by his defeat by Luke Jensen in Memphis a few weeks ago, right back. He's being interviewed on court.